Well, a warm welcome to sunny Featherstone. It's absolutely baking here at Post Office Road today, and we're really looking forward to this game in the Bradford Championship. Two of the competition's form teams, Featherstone unbeaten, 7 wins out of 7, and Bradford on a 7-win streak as well. Something has got to give today, and it should be a thriller. And it's live and exclusive on Our League. Kick-off on the way. We'll hear first, though, from the two head coaches. James, good to see you again. It feels like a week since we were last here. How has that week been?
Yeah, it's been a big week. Obviously, getting to Wembley was fantastic for the club. We did it the tough way. It was a really tough game. Widnes, I thought, was outstanding. Yeah, we've trained all right. We've got a few bumps and bruises. Haven't really got too many people coming back. We've added 2 people on loan for necessity, and I'm looking forward to watching those 2 play.
Has that was such a big game and so close to this one. Has that made this fixture a little bit more difficult in a way because you invested so much in last weekend?
I don't think so. I think we've used it as good practice for hopefully we'll be in a final series at the end of the year. You've got to win 2 games to win it, minimum, maybe even 3. So we've used that as, we're in a final series here. With Bradford, I think, have been outstanding for a long period of time now. Experienced team that, kind of beaten everyone that's been put in front of them, all the good teams. It's going to be extremely hard for us today.
Confidence must be absolutely flying with you guys. It would have been already given the way you started the season, but then to have the fans in and experience what they did 7 days ago, you must feel like you're onto something.
Yeah, the town's buzzing at the moment. Obviously, there's plenty of people looking forward to that Wembley trip, but the league's our priority, always has been. But what I'm going to say is we've scraped through a couple lately. We've been down on numbers massively. It's taken its toll on us, and we're realistic. We know we haven't been at the level that makes us unbeatable. Bradford would be really confident coming here in the rich vein of form that they are. They can come to a job.
Will this be the toughest test you've had so far this year?
You can say. I think it's some real tough ones. Halifax backed up their form against us with a great win today. Widnes have got better every game. We've played a good York team. Bradford's just another one of those 7 or 8 teams which are strong. Look at the experience in their pack. 2 good halfbacks playing. I really like Bradford, and it's no coincidence that they've done so well for the last 2 months.
And the fans like a win over Bradford, right?
Yeah, look, it's a good rivalry, West Yorkshire rivalry. They'll bring numbers. It's a shame we can't have more people here, because I'm sure we would. But this promises to be a really big game.
Good luck.
Thanks, Tom.
John, always a pleasure. Great to see you. Lovely day for it as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's warmer than it seems. It's very close, but that isn't for you or I to worry about. It's for those guys who are going to be running out on the field. So we'll have to make sure they're hydrated and they've had their energy drinks and everything beforehand, so that they can give their all for 80 minutes.
Fair bit of buzz and excitement around this game because of the start to the season that both of these teams have had.
Yeah, we came here in the Challenge Cup and they gave us a good idea, no doubt about that, and they were the best team by far. But we feel we've improved. But obviously I've been watching Featherstone play as well, and they've improved. And obviously they've strengthened for this week with Dagger and Lussick. So, they're still on an upward trajectory just as we are. But it'll be great to see how much we have improved and how well we can challenge them.
How are you equipped personnel-wise today? Obviously there's a big name absentee, which you would love to have out there.
Yeah, Danny's missing, and he's a big part for us. His game management were brilliant. We often got 12 up and each slot a drop goal over and put us 13, which really it takes the wind out of the opposition, and we'll miss that game management. And obviously Ash Gold and Ollie Wilson have gone back to Huddersfield, so we're quite changed from previous weeks. But what it does, it gives young men an opportunity in a big game, in a great stadium in front of a lot of people. So I'm looking forward to see how they go on in that.
It's games like this, and quite early in the season as well, that for the neutral especially tells us a lot and it allows us to learn a lot about where the strength of power is in the season. Are you still learning about your team as you go?
I think you've got to do, because what's happened, George, with this COVID situation, your pre-season was totally different to anything I've experienced before, and I'm sure anything that the batch of players had experienced before. So we had to adapt and amend everything for that, and it's only now that we've got the week in, week out games that I feel we've really settled down, and you can see the proper signs coming through. We're a third of the way through the season now. Fed will be very happy they're sitting in second. We're really happy we're sitting in third, and that's what makes this such an enticing game to watch.
And what kind of game do you think it's going to be today for our viewers on Our League?
I think it's going to be a tiring game for both teams, yeah. No, I think it's going to be very open. It's a great field, isn't it? It's a really big field. It is here at Post Office Road. And it's in great condition. I haven't seen it in condition as good as this, so it's in great condition. There's some talented footballers on both sides. So I think you'll see a really entertaining game of rugby league. And as long as Bradford are on the right side of the scoring ledger, I'm not bothered.
Well, we wish you well. Let's hope it's a good one. Good luck, John.
Cheers, George.
Here come Featherstone, buoyed and lifted by reaching Wembley 7 days ago and ending that 38-year wait, wasn't it, from 1983 to get themselves back to Rugby League's iconic home at Wembley. Have they dusted themselves down? Have they got that adrenaline and euphoria out of their system, ready to go again? Because this is a big one. Bradford, of course, didn't have that last week. They just had the usual run-of-the-mill championship fare, and they came through as they have been doing for the last 7 games. And here come the Bradford Bulls over on the far side. That's the Rovers side, by the way. Will Dagger on debut at fullback, then Gale, Mintz, Hardcastle, Hall and New Brown, Holmes, Kopchak and Connor Jones, Lockwood, Day, Holton and another debutant in Darcy Lutic on the bench. Parata, Moores, Field, completing the substitutes bench with John Davis as Bradford Bulls make their way onto the pitch with their fullback today, Joe Brown. Then it's Rhys Hamlet, Rhys Evans, Ross Oakes and the flyer, David Foggin Johnson. No Danny Brough. That's the big team news today. We knew that with his bicep injury. He's having surgery on that. So it's Pickersgill alongside Jordan Lilly. Look out for that today. The big fella, Steve Crossley, with Doyle and Evans, and then Gallagher, England and Hallis. The bench, Burton, Robson, Walker and Ebon Skur today. Something's got to give today. Both teams on a 7-match winning streak. As Jordan Lilly gets us underway, sweeping the orange boot of the ball, and New Brown just pops it up and allows the first drive back up the middle of the field from Craig Kopchak, the first carry. Bradford with real hunger in the tackle. But Featherstone will just go for a set of 6 and a good kick and just make sure they're in this game with an error-free opening set. They were so good last week, but Widnes had their chances. They just didn't take them, and Featherstone saw out the win to book a place at Wembley. Bit of a stumble at the play of the ball as Featherstone with a strong carry up towards halfway. This will be the last tackle. That was Lusick, and then New Brown with a late hit on him, or so the fans thought, but the referee happy with that. He's let the chase come back, and Bradford Bulls bring it back. Pete?
Well, I think that was slightly missed time there, and I think New Brown certainly knows that he's in for a bit of a torrid time today. Normally likes to take his time and clear his line, but definitely there. I think Ben Evans was making sure that he was getting it. It does look all right though. He's back up and tackling. Bradford just enjoying this first set of 6 that they've got in possession, moving the ball through the middle of the park as you would expect from a John Keir side, and Sam Alice to the fore.
Pete Dutton joining us on Our League for commentary today. Familiar voice here at Featherstone as, it's a knock on it. Thought he was going to give a penalty on the last there, but it has been knocked on, and Featherstone won't mind that at all, getting the ball back and starting a set from here.
Just a quick point, Judge. Lusick playing today, he's the 9th debutant for Featherstone so far this season. And obviously we know with the game and injuries, etc., that teams are now having to bring in loan players, and it's a sad indictment, isn't it, in a way that we don't have this underneath league.
No, absolutely right. The sport has every sport has struggled at the moment. It's no secret at all that rugby league has struggled over the last 18 months. But it's great to be here to have a game like this as Kopchak goes down the middle with a barnstorming run. Really good feel around Post Office Road this afternoon. New Brown, the danger man, as Lusick on debut attacks the line again. He's dragged on his back. This is a good opportunity for the home side with a couple to go. Right in front of the sticks and attacking to the left-hand side. It was Lockwood who was man of the match on Our League 7 days ago. Last tackle, what will they conjure? It's Brown to dab one over the top with that left boot again. It's gobbled up nicely by Ross Oakes, and Bradford will start on their own 10-metre line.
It's a little move, you see, George, that Featherstone do, from these set players. They tend to take it out towards the left and they'll look for Holmes, who's the master-in-chief, if you like. Then Holmes will look and he'll either run the play back across the line towards the right-hand side, or he'll put a chip kick up, to test the full-back. And obviously he went in there and run it. But Bradford now in possession, get towards the 30 line before they are met and pushed back under a heavy two-man tackle there from Featherstone. But Bradford enjoying the Devils' share of possession so far, George.
Yeah, but they're camped in their own territory. It's the last tackle, this, by the way. So Jordan Lynn, he's got to get himself out of danger. He does that really well with a skip and a spiralling kick. How is the bounce? It's favourable for Featherstone, allows them ahead of steam. They're winning the arm wrestle, Featherstone, at the moment. That's a powerful first carry as well from Gareth Gale. And look where Rovers are starting their sets now. Towards halfway. And Hardcastle, he was good as well, I thought, this time last week.
Yeah, real game last week, coming back from injury. And, he really tested under the high kicks that Widnes threw at him. And there's the old bar of soap himself, Craig Hall. He's very slippery customer, very slippery.
This is good for Featherstone. Lockwood down the middle. He's just going to go towards the post, and he does it well. Great chance with Connor Jones waiting at dummy half. He looks over his right shoulder to see where New Brown is and finds him. And then the ball back inside. Is that been knocked on? It has. That was a little misread, I think, off the play, and Bradford will survive.
It's something that, Featherstone do, George. They get into some key positions, and then they come up with an error when really they should be keeping it simple, and just rather than forcing the pass, just taking a little bit more time and building the momentum. But they're in the right side, if you like, of the pitch. They're sort of like going to keep now Bradford here and look for a mistake from Bradford as they look to run out the ball deep from inside their own half.
Nothing on the board first 5 minutes. Featherstone 0, Bradford 0, live on our league from the Rugby Football League. Rovers putting their 100% Betfred Championship record on the line against Bradford today, who lost their opening round and then have had a mirror image record of their own. 7 from 7 since. Jordan Lilly pointing. He wants Crossley on his shoulder. There goes the big fella and picks out his victim and then drives, but he stood up to that, did Frankie Holton.
Yeah, another player that's vastly underrated, I think. He's you look at him, he doesn't look big in build, fifth and last tackle, but he certainly puts himself about.
Yeah, and he scored the game-breaking try, didn't he, just before half-time last week, as Lilly gets a kick away, going over the shoulder of Craig Hall. Yeah. And the Bradford chase is good, and Hall has to do well to get himself back into the field of play there. That's a good end to set for Bradford.
You see Mims now, and they're actually saying to the referee as he knocked on there, but
he's got a problem either way.
Yeah, doesn't. Well, the signal went up straight away, and at first you thought, are they signalling for a knock on? But it looks as if he's taken a knock for his troubles there. One of the other things as well, George, is that if Featherstone win today, it will be their best start since 2010. In the league, they'll have won 8 on the trot. As for Bradford, also flying high. I was looking at, whilst we've got this stoppage in play, I was looking at the last 5 games, as tries scored and tries conceded. And Bradford have scored 24 tries in the last 5 fixtures and only conceded 14. You look at Featherstone, 31 tries and only conceded 9. So this goes back to what we were saying about, the defensive mechanisms of both coaches, making sure that the defence is key.
I was looking for my stat book last night, and no wonder I couldn't find it. It looks like you ate it. You swallowed it. You swallowed it whole. I love it.
I have some great stats men who supply me with information.
I love the stat. Absolutely. Great to have you here today, Pete. And we're basking in the sunshine, albeit in the shade, thankfully, high up in the gantry today. Featherstone with possession as play resumes, and Kopshak waiting for another carry. They bypass him though and go to New Brown and just keep spreading the play over to this near right hand side. Tackle complete by Brandon Pickersgill, wearing 1 but playing in the halves today. No Danny Brough, the big name absentee for John Keir and the Bulls, as Rovers with another strong Darcy Lusick carry.
Keeping it in this middle channel, George, really. When you think about it, they're not looking to spread the play, are they, Featherstone?
The home fans getting a little bit frustrated, but there was nothing wrong with the kick pressure on that occasion as Joe Brown brings it back for the Bulls and gets himself up to the just over the 30-metre line. There's a Bradford ball down behind the Featherstone line, receiving treatment. We'll keep our eye on that.
I think it's England, is it?
In fact, the referee is saying he's interfering with play. It's Ben Evans.
Yeah.
The referee said you can't receive treatment there. He's in the defensive line. Left shin by the looks of it.
So a chance for the guys, the players out there, very hot, sticky. I'm used to this gangtree a little bit, George, and I've been up here when the sun's cracking the flags. You come up here and it's like Baltic. And I thought today, you know, I'll just put a nice little casual shirt on, and I wish I hadn't bothered now. I don't need a sauna or all like that, mate, but yeah, we're certainly getting there.
Yeah, t-shirt and shorts for me today, Pete. Although, as I said at the start of the programme, I've come straight from football, so you almost got me in full kit.
Ready to play.
Well, not quite. I think they would have. I mean, you say 9 debutants. If they'd have had a 10th one, I think someone would have been in trouble. And they're not taking any chances at the moment. He's still receiving treatment with Ben Evans.
Yeah. It does look warm out there. You know, you're looking across. I'm looking at both sets of players, and both sets of players are just pulling in some air. Not really much communication going on. You know, not much chat going on between the players. They're all kind of focused on the job in hand, and it looks as if Ben Evans is coming off, George. So looks a little bit more serious. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
I think that's his day done, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
What a shame. Well, we hope first and foremost he's all right, and we wish Ben Evans a speedy recovery. But you could just tell that the way he stayed down and the area of the leg that he was nursing, that wasn't going to be something he was going to be able to run off.
So that will allow Ellis Robson to come on for the Bulls, wearing number 35.
Number 35. I mean, the squad numbers tell their own story. The point you were making, Pete, about the numbers of debutants that some of these teams and squads are having to add. Just look at some of the squad numbers out there. We're into the mid-30s for a 13-a-side game. So, best wishes to Ben Evans. Bradford get us back underway, and they're in, they're being swarmed by Featherstone over on the far side. Nothing on the board yet. The home side have made the better start.
This is what we were saying, you know, about the defensive machine that Featherstone have. If you look, you know, they go hunting. And it is, you know, you've got to restrict your opposition. You know, if there's only 10 metres between you and you're letting them come 5, you know, then they're not making yards.
Last tackle, Jordan Lilly's going to have to go high again. Well, they're letting it bounce again. And he gets there on the second bounce, does Gareth Gale, with that leggy run. So dangerous in broken field.
9 tries so far this season, I think, for Gareth Gale.
Yeah, he's very hard to stop. Very hard to miss in those pink boots as well. Oh, the ball's been coughed up. That could be the momentum swing that Bradford have been hoping for. Because Featherstone have coughed up their first error, and Bradford will have a full set from inside Rovers territory for the first time this afternoon. What can they do with it, with Pickersgill and Lilly today pulling the strings in the absence of Danny Brough, and Tom Doyle out there as well.
Well, he's another player that can create for Bradford, Doyle. You know, he can get in there, and you know, he will try and look to create space to send men through.
Joe Brown, well shackled off the right shoulder of Jordan Lilly, who takes possession once again and pops it up to the new boy, Ellis Robson, who's just come on. Great opportunity for Bradford to strike first. Jordan Lilly attacking the line. Back to Brandon Pickersgill, who shows the dummy and trots towards the line on his own. It's the last tackle, though, and Pickersgill's out of commission here. So it's going to be Jordan Lilly who dances and tries to kick to himself, and look for Pickersgill, who pops it back. Who's going to get there? Featherstone in the end. That could have been anything, and in the end it's a dropout.
Well, Craig Kopchak there, managing to knock the ball over the dead ball line to clear the line for Featherstone, but Bradford there looking, and it was kind of like to you, to me, to you, back to you, and over to me. But fortunately for Featherstone, Kopchak there able to clear the line, but it is the first dropout of the game.
Pickersgill takes it on the full. I didn't think we were getting any Chuckle Brothers in commentary this afternoon as I was driving over the M62 from Manchester. And there you are. Another full set for Bradford. Lilly just pointing and barking instructions. He's really evolved into a good player since he came through the ranks at Leeds. Here come Bradford up the middle again with Sam Hallis. Doyle waiting with options right and left, and that's where he goes with Pickersgill. He sees the gap so early and he sprints into them. So a couple to go here. Doyle to Hallis, to Crossley, the big man with the soft hands. This is the last, and Lilly wants it. He's hanging back right. Here he is. Lilly, they're going to run this one, Bradford. Oh, brilliant from Bradford. Has he gone forward? It has. Fucking Johnson gets the ball down, but the referee saw the forward pass. And Bradford's come up short. Aaron
Moore there, today's referee from Wigan. His brother referees in Super League as well, so, you know, their chats are interesting around the dinner table on a Sunday evening. But he was in the right position there. And Featherstone will go again. It'll be Mims to get this back underway. He'll take a drive and get Featherstone just shy of the 40-metre mark.
First 10 minutes, 0-0. And I mean, Pete called it perfectly in the build-up. These two sides very much defence-orientated, and we're 0-0 after the first quarter of the first half. And that was the first real opportunity at the line, in fact. Frankie Holton. Jones to Holmes, and then New Brown, who's always the next pass off Holmes. Those two link up so well, they don't even need to look.
It's almost telepathic between them now.
Absolutely right. Back they go again, looking for that angled run. Dayu scored 2 in 2 minutes with an angle like that. Now the grubber kick down the far side. Bradford read it and dealt with it, but they're going to have to start in their deep end as Foggin Johnson brings it back and gets a big smash as well.
Would George, just looking at that, would there not have been better, you know, putting a high kick towards the sticks and coming back across, rather than, you know, trying to still work down that short side?
Well, when I commentate, Pete, a lot with the former and current Super League professionals, they keep reminding me that you don't have to score every set. And they say sometimes a little kick like that, make sure they start on the 10 in heat like this. That's a great kick, by the way.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Start on the 10 in heat like this, it doesn't really matter. So they've clearly decided, let's just let them start there. But Bradford have got a good kick away there. Get themselves right up the pitch. It will be Rovers' ball, however.
We're going to bring it to the centre of the park to restart.
Already a few tired bodies out there.
Yeah, there's a few blowing in there, you know, and I think that we'll be seeing some substitutions very shortly, especially in this heat. I think it'd be good to rotate key players anyway. Hardcastle then runs into Crossley.
Yeah, not the wisest move. Gale takes the next one. We're at that period of the first half when it's the outside backs coming in and taking a bit of work for the pack. As you can see, the first break of the game. Here we go with Featherstone Rovers. It's brilliantly worked.
Connor
Jones. Going to score under the sticks. Connor Jones. Rovers strike first.
George, we spoke about, you know, certainly with, you know, how the teams and certainly how Featherstone seem to be coaching away, that they hunt the mistake of the opposition and then they'll go on the attack, and that's exactly the kind of player that we saw there. And you see, I mean, as you watch it back on the replay, absolutely great link up again, all from, I mean, he's like a bar of soap, Craig Hall, you know, very hard to grab hold of, experience galore, but when he goes and spots that gap, somebody with him, 9 times out of 10, it's 4 points, you know, to who's ever supporting him. But Connor Jones, what a great try.
Lovely, slick rugby league score from Featherstone Rovers. And that will be enough to give them a 6-point lead, with Craig Hall calling for the kicking tee right in front of the sticks.
I'm going to give you another interesting little stat now, George. You'll like this one. If Craig Hall manages to convert this, that will be his 1,550th career point.
There we go. It's no mean feat. And there it is. 1,550 points to the career, and more importantly this afternoon, 6-0 for the Featherstone Rovers. And that after back-to-back sets on their own line from Bradford. Here's the break again. And he was being chased by the pack.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, Featherstone take lead after 15 minutes, and the ball goes deep. It rolls into the hands of Kopchak, and Kopchak will use that big frame. Formerly a Bradford player, of course.
Yeah.
And he's brought down 25 away from his own try line.
One of those players you just feel like he's been around forever.
Well, I coached him as a junior, so
right, wow.
Not giving my age away.
Oh, Featherstone sense there could be something here now. And we saw last week they scored 2 in 2 minutes after Brad Day. Well, it was Brad Day who scored them both. And they're going to get a penalty and a piggyback for a high shot. So Bradford wobbling a little bit now after that first concession. Here's another look at the high shot. Bit of a lazy one, wasn't it, from Rhys Evans, was it, over on the far side?
But what a fantastic kick that, George, you know, from Craig Hall to get them right where they need to be. And Featherstone will now go. And this is what they do, you know, they'll get in this position now where they've scored once and they'll really want to put the, you know, pedal down to the floor.
New Brown pops it up. Darcy Lusick, the debutant. Look at the strength and power. Right at the sticks. The Rovers fans behind the post love that. Here's the try scorer, Jones. Back to Lockwood. Straightens up and has a little carry on his own. Jones with a quick play of the ball. Kopchak's hovering, but they're going to go to the left-hand side. Loads of room on the far side. And it's an easy walk-in try. And Featherstone do double their money. It's a 10-0 lead with a kick to come, and Bradford were fast asleep.
Well, we said there, didn't we? You know, this is what Featherstone like to do as a team. They like to get one and then come straight back at you. And exactly what we saw there, you know, from Featherstone. Decided to take it across to the left-hand side, decided to put it through hands, created the gap. I don't know what was going on in back play there. There was a little bit of a conversation between Dave Foggin Johnson and I think Will Dagger was involved as well. You know, they were certainly having words afterwards, but as a score went in and, you know, Craig Hall put the ball down, you know, it's another 4 points to Featherstone. It's really interesting, George, you know, when you see that, because again, it's all that very close, you know, not off the shoulder, but there's no real depth, is there? It's very, very shallow, very fast passing that just creates that gap and sends the player away.
Craig Hall, can he convert his own try from the touchline? The fans will tell us over to our right. No, it's a long way off. So 10 points to 0. And as we see it so often, we saw it exactly 7 days ago. Featherstone strike, and then they strike again straight away. And just like that, Craig Hall just popping up on the wing and putting the ball down for an easy score. And Bradford arguing with each other about who should have been picking him up. And just like that, the Bulls kick off again. 10-0 down. A little bit of anger in that restart from Jordan Lilly. Straight down the throat of New Brown, and then Kopchak gives the ball a bit of air. Oh, look at the confidence from Featherstone. They fancy another clean break down the middle. The Holmes almost got himself away, and he's still going. Oh, and then he's dropped the ball. But he gets a penalty.
And it's that Evans again that for the ball steal there. So, again, you know, it's testing times now for the Bulls. The Bulls have got to try and find something, George. But while Featherstone are running hot like this, it's very, very hard for Bradford to get anything. And you will find now that, again, Bradford will obviously have to defend hard, but Featherstone will come fast now. Fast and quick.
It's almost a carbon copy of the Cup semi here 7 days ago, the way that Featherstone have to weather a bit of storm as they did through Widnes on their line, and then they struck with a double sucker punch and then had that purple patch which really broke the game. And they're doing exactly the same again with Hardcastle and Brown and Darcy Lusick. Slips this time. There's white and neon green boots. New Brown joining into the line. Frankie Holton. with a strong carry. And look where they are again, 10 away with a couple to go here. Jones, the scorer of the first try. Brown, Lockwood, Holmes. And then on the angle, it's Day. That's the line he tends to run. This will be the last tackle. Jones looks over his shoulder, goes to the left-hand side. Holmes with a short ball. It's a high shot on the last. What are Bradford doing?
Well, Evans again there. You know, that's his third penalty on the bounce. Now, the referee, Mr. Moore, is he calling him out? He's certainly calling... well, he's going to go and speak to his touch judge first, George, but...
well, what's he...
Well,
has he reversed his decision here?
He may have indeed, because...
Well, Bradford have got the ball and they're just going to play it. Let's have another look. I mean, that looked nasty. He gave the decision.
He gave the decision, didn't he, as a high shot.
And has now changed his mind. And Bradford are going to restart.
That will be an interesting one for discussion after the game,
Well, I
George.
can only assume the touch judge has come on with a better view and said it was shoulder first.
Yeah.
And he's come up off the shoulder. It looked a lot worse than it was, and it did look bad. Great to see, by the way, the Featherstone staff running on in the offload t-shirts. A Rugby League Cares mental fitness project that I've got the pleasure of being involved in. In fact, I'm here, I think, next week, delivering one of those, or maybe the week after. Really important work in the community.
It's something I'm involved with as well, George.
Yeah.
Certainly here, and I know you're here, Shim. So
looking forward to that.
Be good, mate. Be good.
I'll tell you actually a funny story about my last offload session. In fact, I'll do it now because it's called time off as an injury. So I was here a month or two ago delivering an offload session for Rugby League Cares on kind of managing emotions and managing anger, and we did it here in the main bar area as we do. One of the case study examples that I discussed with the group, and the role play we did was about how you react when you get a speeding ticket, and how you might react, how you should react, how you shouldn't react, and in hindsight how you would better manage your emotions. Guess what happened to me on my drive back?
No way. Is that karma?
Unbelievable, eh?
You couldn't write this. You couldn't write it. We couldn't write it, George.
£100 later.
Oh dear. Well, it is Brad Day that. They're going to take Brad Day off now. That is that's a worrying sign, because Brad Day.
He's been brilliant as well.
Yeah. Well, he was just finding his form again after a long layoff. You know, where he was out with ACL trouble, and that really did take him out for longer than what he expected to be. And knowing Brad, he'll be absolutely devastated coming off at this point, because he is a really tough as teak character.
And there we see, well, they're the offload shirts I was talking about. It's a mental fitness initiative from Rugby League Cares, which is doing such good work in the community, not just here at Featherstone, but in Leeds, in Bradford as well, in Halifax, Huddersfield, St Helens, Warrington and Widnes. It's a really good project. It's doing so much good work amongst the community, and a big part of the Rugby League World Cup ahead of the game project this year as well, as Brad Davis. That's going back a few years, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate.
Brad Davis, blimey.
Yeah.
Brad Day, he's helped off. Brad Davis, I used to watch for Castleford when I was a young Leeds fan on the terraces. He used to destroy us.
We've got John Davis on, replacing Brad Day.
There we go. That's where I'm getting confused. Brad Davis, I've not said that name in a long time. Jordan Lilly on the last with the bobbly cross-field kick. New Brown leaves that, and Gale with a football control and brings it back. They all used to, that era, they all used to have signature songs played after they score a try, and it was Viva Brad Davis.
Viva Brad Davis.
That's the one. There's a blast from the past. Covering all sorts today. We're back underway. 10 points to nil is the Featherstone Rovers League. Hope you're enjoying it live on our league. Featherstone in control, in the ascendancy, and they got the big fella Junior Moores running up the middle. Jones, the first try scorer. Kopchak probably coming to the end of his first stint on the pitch as well, you would have thought. Great drive, great carry, great offload. Jones through the gap, wants to get the ball away. Evans this time does get the tackle right.
Just unlucky there that he just couldn't get the ball out, could he?
Holmes to Brown. Moores wants it, but they go behind him to Hall, who puts the kick through, and Gallagher's his own kick. Ball on his own. Oh, it's a brilliant score. Little bit of luck. He rode his luck and gave it to Gale, and Featherstone have their third.
If Lady Luck's shining on you, she's shining on you. And what a well worked Little chip there. Again, you know, we spoke about Craig Hall. I have a lot of... I do admire Craig Hall. I think he's a fantastic player. I know he does a lot of work as well with the foundation and a lot of work with the ambassador programme around the Featherstone club. But again, that just shows his guile, his knowledge. You know, he knew exactly what he was doing there, you know, and fantastic work, fantastic play. And how unselfish of him, George, to actually give it to Gareth Gale. You know, he could have taken it himself. But Gareth Gale then takes his try-scoring feats this year now to 10.
Into double figures for the season. And Featherstone have built a really healthy lead here now.
Now, I'd have been telling him off. I'd have been saying to him, now, if I were kicking goals, listen, Gaz, if I'm going to send you in for a try, get it closer to sticks.
Well, if he hadn't passed it, he would have had an easy conversion. It's his own fault. Hall with a difficult kick. Well, he never looked like he sliced that away as if he was annoyed with himself. He just realised if I hadn't passed, I would have had an easier kick. So 14-0. Bradford, let's have another look. He just bounces up. So it bounced off Lilly and it came straight back to him and gave it to Gale to put it down. I mean, the one positive you will say for Bradford is that they've conceded 3 tries in a row and they're only 14-0 behind.
Well, it is, but you know, the kicking is an issue that, you know, that Featherstone really have struggled with at times this season. There's a short kick there, and that's going to be Bradford that get possession. So well done there, Joe Brown, for reading that right.
Yeah, that's it's good to see early in the game as well. An attacking move like that. Bradford with a great opportunity to hit right back here. Lilly. Pickersgill's hanging back here. That's a good carry. Stumped on his back though. Hallis to Lilly attacking the line. Oh, that's a lovely step. Scrambling defence all of a sudden from Featherstone. Straight after their own try. Bradford can sense something here. But they'll have to come back and try again. Ross Oakes waiting at dummy half this time, and he's going to go on his own. Is he over? He went on his back. I don't think he's got there.
No, I definitely held up over the line there on his back. But again, Featherstone's defence being asked questions by the Bulls' attack, and so far Featherstone's defence standing up to it. We restart on the 10.
Lilly to Pickersgill. Good line speed from Featherstone, but the offload is still there. And Foggy Johnson's hanging on to his touchline here. Bradford slipped, sliding towards the line. And they've coughed the ball up, and Featherstone will have it back.
Well, you know, again, we've spoke about it, George. You know, as this game's gone on, about the defence, and obviously Featherstone's defence, making sure it's working overtime, making sure it's getting in there, and making sure it's closing the door on any attack that Bradford can throw at it. It is Craig Hall there that takes the first drive. An offload to Hardcastle, will get up to the 20-metre mark.
Key moment you sense of this game this afternoon, with Featherstone 14-0 ahead. Next score absolutely crucial if Bradford are going to get themselves back into this fixture. Lockwood, it's a good step as the sun comes out again. The home fans want a penalty. Moores juggles the ball and then regathers.
It'll be interesting here now to see if they go through the link play to Brown, and if Brown does his usual, no, he's offloaded this time, but he normally takes a step.
Lockwood and Holmes with a couple of steps and then back from whence he came, and he's still going. Might have been high. Referee says all right. It's the last tackle. Might be New Brown this. He's hanging back on this right hand side. No, they're going to run it from dummy half. Oh, and they're going to get away as well. They're looking for the offload though. Who's there?
Mims.
Still going towards the line. And Mims almost there. Good option in the end.
Yeah, Mims definitely went from the outside to the inside, and was certainly looking for something there, and it did. At one point, it did look like the parting of the Red Sea that Moses was saying, come on, lad, get in here. But again, Bradford's defence key. Bradford's defence on top in that one.
Bradford deep in their own territory. Lilly with a switch of play. Floated pass. Oh, he does well to regather that. Could have been a knock on in an area of the pitch you don't want to knock on in. Hardcastle and Gale in the tackle. Crossley wanted it, but he didn't get it. And Ross Oakes instead up towards the 40-metre line. A couple to go here. Pickersgill with Lilly at first receiver. Will he kick early? No. He just pops it up. And this will be the last tackle, so Lilly will have a little look and then go deep, I'm sure, with a kick. Well, he's gone very high. It's quite narrow, in fact. It's not deep. Where's it going to bounce? It's going to bounce towards Foggin Johnson on the far side and then eventually into touch. I don't think Featherstone will mind that. Not sure Bradford will either, actually.
No. What was interesting there, George, is watching Bradford get set for the kick. Steve Crossley there, basically saying to Lilly, right, get it high, and then pointing at the rest of the Bradford attacking line to switch into defensive mode and go hunting. But again, shepherded into touch by Thomas Mims over on that far stand side. So a great choice by Mims, if you like, rather than picking it up and getting put into touch and handing possession back to Bradford, decided just to let it go.
"12 minutes to go until half-time, live on our league. Two of the Betfred Championship's best sides, toe-to-toe, and at the moment it's Featherstone on top and attacking down the left-hand side once again. Jones, Kopchak. He's had a long stint out there, and he's still going. No, he's playing the ball. Good pick-up, good quick pick-up. Jones is off on his own again. Straight down the middle, he gets the offload. Can they keep the ball moving? There were numbers on this near side. Couldn't get the ball away. John Davis. New Brown, this is the last tackle. Great step, Brown. Lovely inside ball to Lockwood. Great defence, Bradford. And they will hold him up and get the ball back here.
Well, there's that step that I was speaking about, George. That New Brown has. He'll look to go one way, and then he'll just, he just steps back across, and he can catch, and he has caught teams out on a few occasions this season. But again, getting the pass to Lockwood, and Rovers coming away empty-handed. But you can't take nothing away from both sides. It's warm, it's hot, it's sticky, but they're still going at it, George.
Into the last 10 minutes of the first half. Bradford Bulls hanging on. David Foggin Johnson just giving his packer a little bit of a rest, saying, I'll take this one. Oh, and a knock on and they play the ball. And Featherstone will fancy this. What a great field position.
Well, I think that's the Bulls' second error of this first half, George, from what I've got down here. Obviously, Lockwood now captain of Featherstone Rovers. Long time serving here, well loved by the club. Leaves the field. And talking of fields, Callum Field comes on. He's played well in the game so far that he's been involved with this season. But it is Featherstone towards a 20 with Frankie Holton before he's held.
There goes Davis. Real terrier down the middle. Kopchak looking interested on the right shoulder here. They switch to the left-hand side. Holmes, well, he was just anticipating the hit, really. He just stopped and said, I'll take this field position.
Yeah,
we'll play it from here.
If they've offloaded there, though, there was definitely on for a try.
Brown, he does get it this time, Kopchak, and he gets a little bit of steam up towards the line. The options seem to be on this right-hand side. And that's where they come. Brown running into a cul-de-sac, gives it to Junior Moores. This could be dangerous. Moores, can he get the ball free? No, he was looking to offload, but he was already on the ground. It's the last tackle. They're going to load up this right-hand side, and the short ball, it's coughed up and gone forward, I think. And Bradford will survive again. Their goal line defence actually hasn't been too bad, Bradford.
I think both teams' defence has been, cancelling one or two others out, George, really, when you look at it. What's interesting there, and I always look at this with Junior Moores, there's nothing junior about him, is there? He's such a mixed match. He's such a huge guy, and he's so talented and so evasive, especially that close to the line.
Featherstone offside, much needed piggyback up the field for the Bradford Bulls. Can they find some points before half-time? Plenty of time, 8.5. Lilly looking for a bit of distance.
Thought he was kicking that to you there, George.
Yeah,
he was
slams onto the roof just above us on the gantry. Almost up to halfway. And Bradford will have another go at this. Anthony Walker up the middle. Oh, and a knock on again at the play of the ball. John Keir's going to be fuming.
Well, I think you've got to look at it, and I know it's hot, and I know it's sticky, and people will be getting tired, as you see Kopchak coming off now, taking a well-earned break after his big minutes for it. But it's mistakes that you can do without, isn't it? You know, at crucial parts when you're just trying to get that head of momentum.
So it's not Bradford, it's Featherstone with the opportunity instead, and Callum Field takes the drive. Jones with Brown on his right, Davis on his left, that's where he goes. Oh, it's a dangerous ball, that was a really difficult one. The line was flying out at Holmes, he took it well in the end, but he was always going to get clobbered. Brown says to Callum Field, just have another go. Straight down the middle they go. Darcy Lusick dumped on his back. That was powerful in defence from the Bulls. Featherstone come again though. Hardcastle gets the ball away. It's brilliant. It's brilliant
Dagger.
for Featherstone. And it's Will Dagger on debut to score Rovers' fourth score.
Fantastic play. And just again, you know, you can't, for Bradford, you know, if you switch off, Featherstone will punish you. And we saw again there, George, that Dagger, very, very elusive, comes into the line, hunting the play, and, you know, grabbing a try and putting his teammates further ahead. I was just looking there at you mentioned Lusick, and again, you know, he's come back on, he's had a bit of a rest, and he looked rejuvenated there when he came back on. So again, it's helped just give this Featherstone Rovers side a bit of a lift before the half-time break. He has given Hall a very easy kick in front of the post, in front of the Featherstone fans at the Post Office Road end here at the Millennium. But again, be interesting to watch that one back just to see how many pairs of hands it went through, George.
No mistake this time from Craig Hall. He missed a couple from the touchline. He's put the two tries over in front of the post, 2 from 4. And it's a 20-0 Featherstone Rovers lead, and Bradford have only got themselves to blame. Here's the try again. It just opened up, didn't it, for Josh Hardcastle?
Yeah. And great full-back support work there from Dagger, just to be there at the right time, yeah.
Commentator's dream is Dagger. And he's given the home side a really, really healthy advantage. 20-0. 5 minutes to go until half-time in the sunshine here in West Yorkshire.
Well, I don't know if you heard there, George, but Hall is certainly breaking all sorts of personal records today. That goal is 400th career goal, apparently.
Good afternoon so far.
Not bad.
Couldn't Featherstone strike again before half-time? You won't bet against it. And that would really deflate Bradford. Take the game away from the Bulls. Davis off the shoulder, has gone all the way through. Wonderful rugby lead for Featherstone Rovers. And Tommy Minns takes the pass. It was brilliant from John Davis. Minns scores, and Rovers are running riot.
Well, that was definitely a Tommy Mims special. Definitely on the inside, the way he likes to be. He does like to take that inside line. Little Johnny Davis, Mr. Grumpy himself, as he's known in these parts, but he'll have a smile as wide as the Humber Estuary, seeing Thomas Mims score that one. And this is, again, back-to-back tries, and it just shows you cannot let Featherstone at you. When they do get at you, they will punish you. Back-to-back tries, just pushing themselves further forward. 24-0, and kick to come from Hall. Not the easiest kick he's had this afternoon, George, but I dare say his confidence will be sky high. Rovers taking on water, taking on the plaudits there, congratulating one another as they walk back to reset. That, you know, the game's not over yet, George, and they can't afford to switch off. And if anything, You know, this should send a warning signal now, and John Keir needs to get a word into his troops to fire them up, because there's certainly something missing.
26 points to 0. Featherstone lead Bradford. Utter domination at Post Office Road. Here's the try again. Jones with the ball, Davis with a break, Minns with the inside run and call. And Bradford all over the place. Oh, and Jordan Lilly has put the ball straight into touch. And there's time, you know, for this to get worse before half-time.
It certainly is, George. You know, 26-0. And what have we got? We've got about 5 minutes before the half-time hooter goes. But it will be Hall that will restart with a penalty awarded from the mistake of Lilly. And he will look to send this deep.
I can see Featherstone scoring again here. Bradford have clocked off completely. They've conceded
Do you think
barrage of points. They're in for half-time already.
Yeah.
There's another score here for Featherstone if they want it.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think Bradford are in the sheds, George?
Oh, they've gone. Couple of minutes here. If they work it well, they'll score from this set, believe me.
Strong work there from Field then. Field gets up to the 30.
Over.
Jones to Brown.
Another strong carry from Darcy Lusick. Jones again. And Holmes, and New Brown slips as he steps.
Oh, a little bit unlucky there.
Little juggle in the tackle, that sometimes works, you know. Holton on the far side. He's taken over on the left after Day's gone off. New Brown gives it to Davis. Looking for a gap, last tackle. What can Rovers conjure here? It's in the hands of Brown and then Holmes. Little grubber kick through, looking for Hardcastle. He's going to get a repeat set. Have they got time? Maybe.
Well, great work there, and we've seen now there seems to be some changes, as you say. Holmes is now, there seems to be dominating play over on this side. Frankie Alton obviously occupying the position that's been created by Brad Day going off, and obviously John Davis coming on. So Bradford will drop out, and it'll be New Brown that takes that, and he'll look for runners and finds Gaff Gale.
Time for a couple here. Gale. Jones with a quick play of the ball. Knew it had to be. Field. Running straight at the post. Jones eager to get on with this. Davis hanging back right. Got Holmes left. Can they find a way through on the last? Moore's looking to go on his own. Great offload. Lusick.
Didn't expect it.
Out the back to Jones. Little grubber kick through. He finds a Bradford man, and this time Bradford do get a body in the way. But it's a first 40 minutes drenched in the navy and white of Featherstone Rovers.
Well, dominance is a word that springs to mind, George. And Featherstone have definitely been dominant in defence. And also they've been very punishing in attack. They've caught Bradford cold on a few occasions. And Bradford, as you say, they did seem to get to a position where, for all intents and purposes, George, they switched off. So heading back into the shed, you know, what's going through John Keir's mind? You know, what will he say to raise his troops at half time? What will James Webster say to keep his guys focused as they head back into the shed? But certainly a strong first half showing from Featherstone.
Well, these some of the highlights of the first half, and this was the first score. Clean break down the middle. And it was Jones in support to make it a 6-0 lead. Here's another look at that. It's Hall and Lockwood. Jones in support. And under the post he went. And as they always do, Featherstone, one try yields another. And this was their second.
Yeah, just again creating the space, you know, for Craig Hall to get onto the outside and touch down.
almost apologetically put it down, did Craig Hall, and that was a double figure advantage. I think this was the one where we thought it was a high shot, and the referee gave it. You can see Jordan Lilly saying, oh, come on, he's given it, and then he changed his mind. Didn't matter, because Featherstone just kept going. Got a little bit of luck, didn't they, here?
And it's that man Hall again.
Hall took his chance, ball popped up back to him. Could have gone on his own, perhaps, but he knew he had Gareth Gale waiting. And Gale put it down for a 14-0 lead. Only 1 from 3 at this point from the boot. So Bradford was still in at 14-0, and then it was the dagger try.
Could that be the dagger, George?
Yeah, you sense that was the game breaker.
Yeah.
Nothing really on, it seems, and then just a half miss in the tackle.
Yeah.
And good support by the fullback, Will Dagger. And there was still time for one more, and it was Tommy Minns getting his try.
Yeah, just following John Davis there, making sure he comes back on the inside where he knew he had more space to go with the line, and just crashing over. And again, another fan's favourite here is Tom Mims, and does work hard in both defence and attack, and crashes over there to keep his try tally ticking over.
So that is the picture at half-time. Really hot day, a few white clouds, a couple of black ones as well, and a really big problem for the Bradford Bulls. Featherstone in firm control, the second half on the way, but they're almost out of sight already here on Our League this afternoon. Half-time, and we'll be back for the second half. It's Featherstone Rovers 26, the Bradford Bulls 0.
A couple of people have messaged me, George, via Twitter saying loving the commentary. Good afternoon to Mike Lynch, and glad that you've tuned in, Mike, and enjoying this one. Also, a very quick hello to Helen and Martin Moran. Helen has the same condition as Robbie Burrows. Martin has the same condition as Robbie Burrows. He's well known in the amateur game, is Martin. So wish him all the best of luck, and yeah, his heart goes out to him. But I'm glad you're enjoying this one.
Yeah, great to hear from you, Martin. Thinking of you, buddy. Yeah, you have all my my empathy and my sympathy. As listeners to Our League will know, Rob Burrows, a very close friend of mine, and it's been very, very difficult watching what he's going through. So you have all my love and strength, mate, with your current fight.
Well, we just saw a ball steal there from New Brown off of Pickersgill, but the referee, Mr. Moore, said no, and he's awarded the first penalty of the second half to Bradford, as we've got back underway here now.
Well, that's the start that the Bulls needed. I wouldn't have liked to have been in that dressing room with John Keir. He's a lovely bloke, John, but he gets angry, trust me.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would have been too polite during that 10 minutes or so in the dressing room at half-time. But Bradford have the first opportunity with ball in hand here.
And that's Anthony Walker who drives it forward for Bradford.
And they're over halfway, so a good opportunity right at the start of this second half for John Keir's men. And they give the ball a bit of room as well. It was nice. They're 20 away all of a sudden. Bradford and Hallison, Lilly spinning. Can he get the ball away? He wanted the offload. There was no one there. I think he was looking for Hallis, who's now here, and then he switches it. Well, that was never on. Featherstone read that so easy and got all of their jerseys behind it.
That shows when you've not got an intelligent playmaker, you know, in there to give you a last tackle option, really. Featherstone
that wasn't a good play.
Coming back up the slope, defending the Post Office Road end here at the Millennium. For those that know the ground, historic ground here in Featherstone, and it's Craig Hall. Craig Hall will run. He'll get over the 10 before he's pushed back by a four-man defensive wall there of Bradford, and they're really going all the way. And have they taken him back over the line, or is the referee going to allow him to play that, George? But that was a big hit.
Yeah, he's just said he was halted just before, but they're away again. Couple of offloads. That should be play on. It's come off the knee of the Bradford man, I thought there.
Well, again,
that's come off Evans.
Well, the referee's asked Lilly where he wants to restart. So it's definitely giving the ball back to Bradford. And I think Featherstone are very, very unlucky there with that call because...
let's have another look at this.
Yeah.
We'll try and get that replay. To me, it was the offload, and then it came off the knee ankle area of Reece Evans.
Yeah.
That's what I saw in real time. Either way, Bradford have the ball back, and they're having another go here. Ellis Robson down the middle. Hallis with Lilly. Can he make something happen? Pickerskill perhaps as well. Evans, who's had a difficult afternoon. Dumped on the ground by Hall. Illegally, says the referee. Says he tipped him over. Says Mr. Moore.
That's more tit for tat, innit? I think we're even now. You know, you cost me try and me break. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, I'm kind of with the referee there. I think he called it right, and after he called it, there was still the chance to back out of the tackle. So it was a tip tackle, but it wasn't a bad one because they heard the call so early, and you credit the referee for that. Here come Bradford again. Great start to the second half. It's going to have to be. They're going to have to play faultless for 40 minutes to get anything here, Bradford. Hallis, Lilly waiting on the left shoulder. Here he is. Fizzes the ball back into centre field. And it's the big fella Walker. Great opportunity this. Hallis. But again, it's more in hope than expectation, and they're held up over the line. They're playing one-up rugby here, Bradford. And they are missing Danny Brough. I don't care what they say. Again, it's a stumbling run on the angle. Can he get there? No, he's short, and it's the last. So where's Lilly? He's right behind the plate. It's an awful pass. He's missed him. He's gone straight to the winger. Outside left boot. It's a good kick. It's going to be too much, though, from Joe Brown, the fullback. And Featherstone get up ahead of steam here and will come away with it. And that's disappointing for the Bulls in the end, Pete.
Well, it's disappointing for the Bulls, as you say, but excellent work done by Featherstone's defensive unit. Again, you know, they really did ask a lot of questions. And just as I say that, the ball comes free, and Walker there nudges his man out of the way and allows, is it Eben Skur? Yeah, Eben Skur to drop onto the loose ball. So Bradford will get possession back and go again at this Featherstone line.
Well, the Bulls can't say they didn't have chances. They've had the ball for 5 minutes of this second half. But credit the Rovers defence. Lilly, Pickerskill. Oh, that was a big one. Over the top, it was so high it missed his head.
Now,
referees called it eventually.
Yeah.
I can laugh because he's all right. Yeah. We shouldn't laugh about high shots, but it was so high that he went right over the top.
Well, I think Callum Field there just saying to the referee, "Oh, come on, referee." He ducked underneath that.
Yeah, it was still high though. It was still high. It's all Bradford. And at the risk of a commentator's curse, they just don't look like scoring, which normally means a try is on his way. They're going to run, skinny side. Pickerskill with a floated ball back inside. I think that's gone forward, it has. They had to try something different, they did, and it didn't come up.
Well, Ross Oakes there for Bradford, trying to reel in the pass and trying to get the first points of the afternoon for Bradford. But again, Featherstone's defence making Bradford asking a lot of questions, saying, look, if you want to score past us, you're going to have to come up with something better than that. They'll come back into the centre of park, restart, bang central on the 10-metre line, and the ball will go into the hands of Frankie Holton. Frankie Holton will just take that forward before he's brought down in a three-man tackle from the Bradford Bulls. Then on to Hardcastle. Hardcastle skips away, and again, he'll manage to get to the 30-metre line before he's wrapped up on the second tackle.
Jones. Featherstone have been under the pump a little bit, but they've got this big lead, so they won't be too concerned. 26-0. And as we know with this Rover side, they play in purple patches. One try normally brings 2, 3. Darcy Lucy bounces out of a tackle, offloads it backwards. Didn't really come off, but his fellow debutant will dagger, try scorer, will take the ball. It's the last tackle. Featherstone have a chance to put a good kick in here. Brown to Holmes, where will he go? He's just going to kick into space. Behind David Foggin Johnson, it's too deep.
Yeah, Brown will let that go over the dead ball line and bring it back for a restart on his own 20. And that's exactly what he does. And he's wrapped up in a two-man tackle. Lusick and Field in there.
Foggin Johnson wants Feel of the football. He's not had the ball yet this half, and he won't be getting it again, I don't think, because he's knocked on. What's the referee saying here?
Well, I'm slightly confused because at first he waved 6 more, then, yeah, he's given the ball to Featherstone. So it must have been a knock on then. So either way, Featherstone in possession. 35 metres away, George, from the Bradford try line, running up the slope.
Having had a lot of defending to do second half.
Yeah, 8 minutes worth of defensive work they've done, and now they're in attack.
We do often see when a team, Bradford offside. Well, John Keir's going to be absolutely seething because his team have been peppering the line for 8 minutes, come up short, and suddenly look where they are.
Schoolboy errors.
And that's from a knock on and an offside. I'm angry on his behalf.
yeah, he's not going to be best pleased, is he? You know, and I dare say that it's a very indifferent performance so far.
Chance for Rovers to absolutely kill the game here. And the way they've been attacking, you wouldn't bet against them. Holmes, all the way back to Dagger. Massive gap for him, all the way through. And there's a big gap for a reason, because his mates are in the way.
And, well, again, referee, bang on the spot. He's going to cancel that one off. Bradford will get possession. Lilly will kick to fine touch.
That's coming to you.
To me. And
just dip below.
Yeah, definitely. But it will be Bradford to start again.
Evans drew a big hit from Lusick there. Featherstone will be loving it if they can nil Bradford. But the Bulls will have different ideas. And you just wonder if Bradford can find a way through. Can they find a purple patch of their own?
It'd be interesting to see if they do actually nil Bradford. I know I was looking at some stats, and there is some stats for how many times these teams have nilled one another. Can't recall them off the top of my head, but
you've forgotten a stat. My word!
I dare say somebody would dare let me know. But yeah, what sort of a message does that send out to the rest of the league?
Oh yeah, it's a really strong message. It's the last tackle, this, by the way. Pickersgill towards the line. Can Pickersgill get over? Look at that defence. They do want this shutout, you know.
Do you think that would have been the shout at half-time in the sheds? You know,
100%.
Yeah, we've locked them out so far. Let's do it again. But great defensive work there. And now Dagger is firing up the troops, saying, come on, guys, let's lift it, let's get out of here. As soon as the ref says, let's go, let's go. And he will start. Feed the ball to Hardcastle. Hardcastle will take a drive. Another quick clear there, quick yards around the ruck area there from Thomas Mims. Thomas Mims on a gallop, gets towards the 20 before he's wrapped up by Lilly and Evans. And it is Featherstone coming down this near stand side from our commentary position. Certainly now looking to pile on the pressure, George, and really asking questions of this Bradford defence.
Well, they'll be buoyed. You can sense they're buoyed when they have ball in hand at how well they're defending. Because they know there's no real pressure to have to score points themselves because they're defending so well. And that allows you to play, I think, with a little bit of freedom. And that's what we're seeing from Featherstone based on this rock-solid defence today. It's the last tackle, this. Where will Holmes go this time? It's going to go high, I think, yeah. Foggy Johnson's chasing back to try and offer a bit of a guard around Joe Brown.
I didn't see Lockwood come back on for Featherstone. Here we go. Yeah, so Lusick's gone off, and
I think Doyle's back on for the Bulls too.
Yeah. And
it's really hot down there. They're going to be making lots of changes.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's just up around the neck area, but up off the shoulder. There is Doyle back on. Lilly's you can sense Lilly's getting frustrated because he's not getting the angled runs that he wants.
He is getting frustrated, and I was just looking back to a few tackles before that one, and Lilly
off he goes.
He was kicking out in the tackle,
right,
and he caught field, but play still goes on. And now, what's the referee going to give here now? Because we've had the ball bounce here, there, and everywhere. But going back to Jordan Lilly, you can see that frustration on him, George, and he's just not getting the little support play, is he, and the runs that he's wanting to create the gaps for. But it is Featherstone's defence you know, you can't take anything away. They've shackled Lily, and they must have known how Lily was going to come, how he was going to play, and the game plan so far from Featherstone, you know, with about 30 minutes left of this second half, has been excellent.
Here come Rovers, leading 26-0. 5 tries from 5 different try scorers today. Dagger, Hall, Minns, Gale, and Connor Jones, who has the ball in his hands. Dagger to Brown. He had Junior Moores thundering up with him.
What's going to be interesting, George, is when Webster makes a change and actually brings Dean Parata on.
I love watching him play.
Yeah, fantastic.
Although he had a really difficult day 7 days ago.
Yeah,
he kept
not his
dropping
best.
The ball, didn't he?
Yeah, not his best game, not his best.
Here they go. Here's your man Lockwood, right on the line. He fancies this, but he's short. Yeah, I was raving about him in commentary to Kyle Amor, and then he comes on.
Yeah,
and keeps dropping the ball.
You know, he's a nice lad. I've got to know Dean away from the team, sort of thing, and yeah, real nice lad. Very level, a very intelligent guy, and yeah, knows a thing or two about his rugby.
.26 and a bit to go, and 26-0 is the scoreline. Bradford have had chances, both halves. Certainly the second half. They're going to get a new tackle count here as well.
He's wiped it clean. Although there is a player down in back play receiving treatment for the Bulls. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on that. Both sides have already lost one man for the duration today. Ben Evans off for Bradford. Brad Day off for Featherstone, and with Wembley looming, you fear for Brad, don't you?
Yeah, I really do, especially as it's the same knee, I think, that as the one that he
big
kept him out before. What a
really
fantastic
big
hit there from Tom Holmes.
Lilly, Crossley, back on for Hallis. Crossley, it's the last tackle this for the Bulls. Pickerskill, is he the man? That's a great floated ball. Had to take it though so far above his head that he allowed Featherstone in, and they've stolen the ball, and they're going to have a full set from where they are. The touch judge is on again. I think he's just pointing out the injured man in back play, which you call, Pete.
Yeah, I think he is, and I think in a bit of eagerness there that Gareth Gale wanted to get on with the game, didn't he? He was sure as buzzing, ready to get on with the game there, but the touch judge on, and play stops.
I always like this commentary position at Featherstone. A, for the shaded element that you mentioned, Pete, but also it's a great spot to snoop, isn't it? It's a great people spotting commentary position, because you're right high above the main stand, and there's always someone interesting in the hospitality cabinet. And the stretcher is finally making its way off, and it'll go straight down the near side.
Well, I apologise, it's not actually Brown. I can see Brown has actually come back, but we will try and find out who it is that has
well, I can tell you John Keir has made his way all the way over to have a check on one of his friends. I can see there is they've got the neck brace on, which is always a real concern.
So we're back underway. Featherstone then will restart. They'll slide over the 20-metre line with John Davis. He'll get, great little burst there from John Davis. Actually using the momentum of the Bradford Bulls players to drag him further forward to get to the 40-metre line before the ball comes to this right-hand side. Into the hands of Frankie Alton. Frankie Alton, the hit and spin, looking to get away, trying to offload, and he's brought down just inside the Bradford Bulls half.
Holmes and then Field. That was such a long stoppage. It's going to be hard for both sets of players to get going again, I think.
It is.
Especially with the scoreboard as it is. 26-0. It's the onus really is on Bradford to create some energy here, because Featherstone don't have to.
Well, the other week, George, when Sheffield entertained Featherstone, and we had a stoppage right on the halfway there where...
have a look at that. He's mishandled it in goal, and that's allowed the defence to get up and get a dropout.
I was just saying, that we had a stoppage at right on the half-time there where a staff member of Featherstone's actually took ill in the tunnel at half-time, and that delayed the game for just over an hour. But fortunately, he is on the mend, is Rob. Good afternoon, Rob, if you tuned in, and all our very, very best from us at our league, and also a lot of the people that know you are right throughout rugby league have said, you know, what a great guy you are.
It was even Skur,
Eben Skur, yeah,
the man to make his way off the field on a stretcher, having word from the Bulls. So we wish him well. Very best wishes and thoughts to him as Bradford drop out, bobbling all over the place. We've not had a single point second half. 26-0 as it was at the break. Davis, good change of direction, but ran into Crossley, which is never the best of ideas. Lockwood, his first receiver, he's got Brown on his shoulder. There he goes, gives it to Junior Moores, who just runs right through Bradford. Over the top, quick play of the ball, Jones. On his own, Jones, he's already got one. Has he got another? No, he's on his back.
Well, he opened up for Connor Jones there, and to me, he did the right option. You know, he could have gone. He had options to his left. He was looking to see what he had, but managed to hold the ball, and he will restart 10 metres out.
Oh, complete change of direction from Holmes, and then the flat ball. He wanted to get the pass back, but Bradford wraps up the Featherstone man. So it's the last tackle with Jones and Holmes. Here he is. He's got Brown, goes past him to Moores, and then the knock on from New Brown, and Bradford Bulls have the ball back.
Well, if that ball had stuck to New Brown's hands, would have been wowing and wooing the creativity there of Featherstone. But unfortunately, sometimes these things just do not come off. It is Bradford that have possession. Bradford coming down the slope, and the game now. I know we just had that flat spell, George, but it needs something now to lift it a little bit. The crowd sound a little bit flat, and yeah, I know it's warm and it's muggy, but it's still not over yet.
No, there's plenty of time in this game. Featherstone can score points very, very quickly, as can Bradford, although they've not shown any sign of that here today, and they've lost two men to serious-looking injuries in Evans and Skur as Lilly kicks. Already without their star man, of course, lest we forget. Danny Brough not here today.
Yeah, recovering after his operation.
Yeah, he's had his op. And it's all just gone a little bit quiet, so much so you can hear the screams and the instructions from the benches. Our commentary position on the gantry is right above the Bradford Bulls bench. And I'm just looking over the top. I can see John Keir. It's when he's standing on the touchline, you know he's angry.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't tend to do that, John. And he's right on the touchline, outside his technical area, actually barking instructions. This has not gone to the John Keir master plan. And credit Featherstone Rovers for that. Here they come again. Last tackle. Brown drills one for position. It's going to sit up this and be taken by Brown, Joe Brown, by his namesake. And the chase is good. But a lot, after that lengthy stoppage, Pete, a lot of the fizz has gone out of this.
Yeah, it has. And I think both teams now are just looking a little bit jaded, a little bit tired. And it just needs that little bit of a spark, really, doesn't it, to get it going again? Because for the first, 17 minutes that we had, you know, the game was flowing. It was really good. I know Bradford were coming up with a few mistakes, and Featherstone were capitalising on them. But as you say, it remains 26-0 in the favour of Featherstone Rovers, and it is Bradford in possession. And
Pickersgill and Lilly, and they're attacking down this near side, but the sliding defence is perfect from Featherstone. And Bradford are in touch. They've defended so well.
Yeah, great on the front foot there. Defence from Tom Holmes and Thomas Mims there, in there to take Evans into touch, which will give Featherstone the ball back. They're going to start back, well, the best place you can start, right on the halfway line, right on the centre spot. John Davis walks towards the spot with a ball in hand, just having a chat. Holmes is organising in the back line. Parata is now on, so this should give Featherstone a bit of injection around the ruck, all being well.
Speed things up for sure. Rovers looking for more. Hardcastle lost the ball forwards.
Well,
So knock on.
It's always a hard call, that, George, I think, because, you know, from the angle where we see it, it does kind of look as if it went behind, but as you say, it's referee shout. And
what I will say is the referee's 5 yards away, and we're probably 105.
Yeah.
So I'll let him have that one.
And I need to get a Specsavers. I know what you're saying.
We're higher up, but we're a long way away. A reminder, this match, as well as 2 priceless Betfred Championship points, and to maintain a 7-match winning run for both sides, is also being played for the Peter Fox Memorial Trophy in the great man's legacy. A famous name for both these 2 clubs. I'm sure he would have enjoyed what he's seen from Featherstone today.
I think he'd have been well pleased.
Lilly now. Not quite. The door was ajar, but it was slammed shut in his face. Bradford just got driving into a cul-de-sac, really. Pickersgill. He's got nothing on at all. Now then, perhaps it'll open up over on the left-hand side. They give the ball a bit of room. Back inside. Can Bradford get over? Wonderful scrambling defence again to deny the balls.
Defence awesome from Featherstone there. Really moving and shutting out Bradford's attack, repelling Bradford's attack with everything. 5th and last tackle. Bradford about 8 metres away from the Featherstone try line.
With Pickersgill and Lilly. Oh, that looks good now. But they're out. Look at them flying out of the line. Bradford had a man free, but they just couldn't get the ball to him because Featherstone leapt out of the line and wrapped up the ball.
We spoke in the pre-build-up, George, about the defensive unit of both these teams and how quick they are. And Featherstone's defence today has been very much on the front foot, and they've certainly worked overtime in closing Bradford down when they've looked dangerous. It will be Featherstone that will come back. It will be Halton, and Halton will just take the first try and tackle before he's put down. A little bit of laughter's coming in there. And now, here we go, Parada stealing good yardage from the ruck. He will get up towards the 30-metre line before it's Hardcastle. Hardcastle through the gap.
And he's away. He's got loads of options. Hall back in field. Oh, they've overdone it, Featherstone. I think he had to go right, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
But they've got a quick play of the ball. They've got loads of numbers on the right wing. Hardcastle, they're still going. Gale in the corner has knocked on, has he? Yes, he has. How on earth have they failed to score there, Featherstone? It was almost too easy.
Well, they were like queuing up there, George, and you just wondered to yourself which one is actually going to get the try awarded against their name. In all intents and purposes, I thought Craig Hall, and you can actually see he's laughing there. Craig Hall's walking back.
He's trying to con the ref with that celebration, isn't he?
It is, definitely. But
he's celebrated as if he'd just been awarded the Lance Todd Trophy.
But you look at that, and I think that the team was working hard there. They were working to get another try for Gareth Gale over there on the far stand from our commentary position.
But they've got another injury here. It's a third injury. It's another head assessment, is it? It's his back, I think.
Yeah, so another stoppage in play.
The clock has been stopped on 16 minutes and 7 seconds. That's how long's to go. So a little bit longer than you can see on your screen. 16 minutes and 7 seconds to go. And Bradford, well, they're battered and bruised. And that's another injury. That's another game-ending injury, I think, is it? He's coming off anyway.
Yeah, I think with it being the head assessment, or being what potentially could be a head knock, he has to come off, doesn't he? He can't. I think that's a protocol, isn't he, George? That.
Oh yeah, absolutely
observed,
right.
Yeah. That sees Hallis go back on, and last time Sam Hallis played here, obviously he left the play very, very early with a broken jaw. So.
Well, it's been a second half really ravaged by injuries. It's never really got going. Featherstone have defended brilliantly. That's the only real trend of the second half, I would say, Pete.
Yeah, I think that you've got to agree there, George, that there hasn't been any real standout moments apart from Featherstone's defensive effort when they've.
Evans. Difficult afternoon for the Bulls centre. Ran straight into Holmes and Minns, who will have enjoyed his try. Last tackle. Lilly's going to have to kick, surely. Yes, he is. I think he knew Pickersgill was going to be there somewhere. Oh, they both went for it. Who's got it?
I think.
Well, if Pickersgill's got it, it's going to be the turnover anyway. Or is he saying Bradford have got it? No. Yeah, so it's Pickersgill claim and a turnover. They both leapt really bravely for it.
And Dagger there with a little bit of cramp.
Gale, who...
Yeah, he's actually come inside now, hasn't he, for a bit of work.
He's trying to get away from the fans in that corner who are laughing at his celebration for that clear knock-on. I'll go and play over here for a bit. Here come Featherstone. They'll be hugely pleased with their effort this afternoon. 26-0 against the mighty Bulls. And they fancy more. Here they come. Stacking up on this near side. Lovely floating ball.
Oh, what a pass from John Davis.
Will Dagger away. Holmes is in support inside.
Yeah, here we go.
Dagger to Holmes and Rovers are in again.
Well, we've said for all intents and purposes, we've had, 25 minutes of the second half where it's not really ticked or it's not really gelled for Featherstone, and there's been one or two lengthy stoppages with injuries, etc. But when they come back into it, they do come back into it, and that's a great team try there, and great to see Tom Holmes go over and touch down. So Featherstone 30, Bradford Bulls 0, and great support there. And again, outstanding charge there from John Davis, the old veteran, still showing he's got a turn of pace, George.
6 tries from 6 different try scorers, and a 0 next to the Bradford Bulls. Perfect afternoon at Post Office Road for the home side, with 13 minutes and a couple of seconds to go. Hall right in front, makes no mistake, and it's a 32-0 stranglehold for the 1895 Cup finalist Featherstone, as we look again at this try number 6.
Well, as you can see there, it was Dagger who managed to offload to Holmes, and Holmes then just took it, ran towards the sticks and puts the ball down for a good, well-taken try to add to his tally. And obviously Craig Hall kicking the goal, pushing Rovers out now, 32 points to 0. Lilly will kick. He'll kick that deep into the hands of Brown, and Brown will look for a runner, finds that runner in Lockwood, and Lockwood will just try and gallop away, build up a head of speed, crashes over the 20-metre line, and he's brought down by the Bulls' defensive machine.
Well, they'll want the nil now for sure, but I think they'll want a few more points on the board as well. There's an opportunity here for Featherstone to batter Bradford.
Well, George, you've got to say, has the confidence gone? Has the confidence of Bradford gone? Certainly there's one or two players out there that won't want to give up, the likes of Crossley, Alice, etc. But you've got to look, and they just look so dejected in a way, don't they?
Well, they've not got their inspiration and leader out there, Danny Brough, and they've had a couple of bad injuries as well throughout the course of the game, but they've never really got going. Last tackle, Minns on his own. Minns gets the offload. It's brilliant, and Dagger has gone forward.
Well, Featherstone now trying to turn on the flare, although we look there now as if we have an injury to...
it's Hall, is it?
Is it?
No, Hall's okay. Hall's coming back.
Is it Mims that's down there?
Might be Thomas Minns who made the break. And I saw David Foggin-Johnson immediately looking concerned. And
yeah, it is Mims. He's holding the thigh.
Not another bad injury for Thomas Minns.
No. Well, if it is bad,
oh dear,
he'll be gutted, will Tom? So another stoppage here. Although the clock is still running, I don't think the referee's officially stopped the clock yet.
I don't think I've ever seen as many bad injuries in one game. But Evans and Skur for Bradford both look really nasty.
What I mean, George,
Day and now Mins.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of rugby, just like myself, and like you say, what do you put it down? Is it just bad luck? Is it missed time in the tackle? Because a lot of the things that you see, you might see one or two in a game, but certainly not as many as we've seen today.
Yeah, I don't know is the answer. I mean, I think a deeper problem is just the strain on the general sport is putting a greater strain on the players. I know a lot of players who are they're going into training not fit, a lot of them, and they're being picked for games when they probably shouldn't be playing. Now, I can't speak for any of the individuals who got injured out there today, but I know there is that going on.
Yeah.
Which is a worry.
And it will take its tally, as Bradford are awarded a penalty there, as Callum Field is adjudged to come in with a high shot.
So
now it's mine.
Yeah, that is coming up towards us.
I think our cameraman was ready to duck out of the way.
I took a bad
well.
one about a month ago. I was at Swinton, where Toulouse, when Toulouse played a couple of the home games at Swinton, and we did the commentary in French, which was a big enough headache for me trying to get my head around. A language I used to speak fluently, but don't so much anymore. Here goes Bradford, by the way, and just as I was kind of trying to get my head around all the notes, unbeknownst to me, Eloi Pellissier had hoofed into touch and it hit me smash in the face. And I was consulting my notes, trying to get the French expression for an arm wrestle or something, and took the ball plumb in the face. Here come Bradford. Is this their chance to wipe away that nil? Featherstone will be desperate to keep them out. Crossley.
Well, he's not relinquishing, is he, Crossley? He won't give up. Eventually, he does.
Again, Lilly with no real idea of what to do there.
He's been so well marshalled, hasn't he, and shackled. He's just been closed down.
Doyle, they're trying to just put it's one-up rugby again from Bradford. There's no way through this watertight Rovers defence.
It takes me back to amateur days there,
Oh, look at the pace!
Oh, John Davis there, absolutely out of the blocks, and John Davis wraps up Pickersgill, and Pickersgill gets up from that one, and he certainly knows he's been hit by John Davis there. But I'm just going to go back, George, and say, it takes me back to amateur days, where you used to sort of like get close to the line, have no idea, let's get a big man on and try and skittle him. And that's very much what that was, wasn't it, before we saw that ball go out to Pickersgill.
So Bradford again have a full set on the line and aren't able to break through this Featherstone Rovers defence. I'll be asking you, Pete, actually to select the player of the match today. That's normally our summariser's job, so I'll ask you to do that in a couple of minutes. So I just have a little thought as Lusick offloads. Brown, Davis, who's had a great game. Hardcastle on the far side. Little show and go on his own. There goes Gale. It's gone behind everyone. And it's been knocked on by Bradford. That should be play on. It's been knocked back again. Well, the referee's got to stop that.
He's going to go back for the first knock on, isn't he? And And I think that
edit that to Benny Hill music.
Yeah, definitely. It's well, is he going to give the? Where's he going? He's. I don't even think the referee knows where he wants to restart this one. And he's going to give the ball to Featherstone.
It's certainly Featherstone ball.
Yeah,
it was Bradford knock on.
Featherstone will restart. It is John Davis, who you say has certainly put in a shout for a man of the match nomination today.
Well, I'll ask for your choice maybe after this set. Got about 7 minutes to go. Here come Featherstone again. Holmes attacking the line, just short. Jones hauls on this left touchline with Frankie Holton, but they're just going to run right to the middle and try to get a debut try for Darcy Lusick, but he's held up. Bradford were wise to that move. And Featherstone will bring it back and have another go. They know they're going 8 wins out of 8 at the top of the Betfred Championship.
Parata.
As Dean Parata goes towards the line and scores another one. 7th try. 7th different try scorer and 7th heaven for Rovers.
Well, you know, if you give that man an inch near or a sniff at the try line, you know that he's not going to take a backward step. Isn't the diminutive little Aussie Dean Parata, and it just showed there that he was Johnny on the spot, took the pass well, managed to get in there and managed to just touch down to give Hall a relatively easy kick. 5 minutes left of this one, 5.5 minutes left of this one. 36-0 Featherstone lead. Dean Parata confirmed as a try scorer. Hall with a conversion to come, and kicks this 38-0. Will George, do you think then the question will be, can Featherstone, one, nil the Bulls, and two, can they hit the 40 points mark? Because
I think they'll want both.
It's all going to come down in it to points with the way that the league is structured at the moment. I know Toulouse sit top of the tree with the average and everything like that, but you know, if you looked at it and it was a normal league, then Featherstone would be top of the tree as well, wouldn't they?
So 38 points to nil. It's Bradford kick off. What's your thinking on the Our League player of the match, Pete?
Well, John Davis definitely has certainly had a good knock today. I've been very impressed with him. Holmes for Featherstone, and also Craig Hall. You know, looking at the Bradford Bulls side, Brown at fullback. I think you know, he's worked hard. He's tried to keep his team in it. Lilly again has you know, been involved. Been a bit frustrating for him. And I've also been impressed with Crossley as well, you know, when he's been on the park, because he has taken some great forward runs, you know, to try and get Bradford on the front foot. But all in all, George, I've got to settle for that man now, carrying the ball forward, John Davis, and I've got to say, you know, I've got to give him the man of the match.
I wouldn't disagree with that. He's had a brilliant game. The Terrier. Can they hit 40, Featherstone? Right down the middle through Field. He won't be stopped. How about that? Have a look at that power.
Hey, well, that has got to be one of the best tries that we've seen scored this afternoon, George, if anything. And Callum Field, who came to Featherstone during the off-season, he's certainly making a name for himself. I know when I spoke to James Webster, both you know, interviewing and talking about Fields, etc. You know, he does rate Callum Field very, very highly. Certainly on that showing as well. You know, he's got to give him a shout out there for Wembley Way on a performance like that, and Sky putting tries like that and racing away like that. Great play.
8 different try scorers. There's your player of the match, by the way. He'll enjoy his pint after this, won't he?
Well, he'll be walking round Featherstone with a smile from ear to ear. He's not normally a happy chap, but yeah, he certainly enjoyed his game today.
44-0. You asked whether they'd hit 40.
Yeah.
Could hit 50. Here's another look at that barnstorming run. A bitterly disappointing afternoon for Bradford and John Keir. They came into the game without Danny Brough, but make no excuses at all for what's happened here today. Featherstone have just absolutely run riot. And they'll want this 50. I think they're going to get the nil, and that will please James Webster. But they'll be desperate for the 50. And if they could send Darcy Lusick over to get the try for 50, that would just be the perfect afternoon for the home side.
Icing on the cake. That would send the Featherstone faithful, or Featherstone loonies as they are known in certain quarters, home very happy. But you know, it's not been a complete performance. But Parada there.
Oh, he's lost the ball this time, so Bradford will get the ball back.
It's not been, I wouldn't say it's been a total dominating performance, you know, an 80-minute showing, George, but what Featherstone have done is it's been one of the most...
It's going to be Featherstone ball here.
All right. So what's he done, ball steal or...
Bradford have made their final interchange. I think Brad Gallagher's back on. Here's the player of the match, Davis. Can he find a try? Lockwood slipping out of tackles. There's Gallagher, who's just come on. Jones with Parata on his right shoulder. There he goes. Darcy Lusick on debut. 44-0 and attacking the post to the left. Parata again. He's got Lockwood, but he goes behind him to Holmes. They switch it back to Field again, who bounces away again, gets the ball back, and it's forward.
Oh.
Frankie Holton was in.
Just a little bit unlucky there, you know, overcooking the play. And I think, you know, on the performance, as we've said, George, you know, James Webster's got to be happy overall, but he'll still rue little mistakes like that. And it'll be the little mistakes like that that, you know, he will address with the team, probably more importantly than the, you know, the fact that they've put in a good performance.
Just about out of time. The stadium clock's been turned off, so we're almost there. And a convincing, comprehensive victory for Featherstone over Bradford. 44-0. 8 tries, 8 different try scorers. And this will be Bradford's last set. And they've been nilled today. That looked forward to me.
Yeah. And the referee has agreed with you, George, there. And
that was lazy. That was an 80th minute pass.
Definitely.
So is there enough time?
Well, we have a bit of a mothers' meeting going on between the Featherstone players. And referee's calling.
Well, he's saying just play the ball on the 40.
Ah, right.
Lusick is in absolutely no rush to do so.
No.
Final seconds. Take that, he says to New Brown. Hardcastle.
Again, being outstanding today is Josh Hardcastle.
The club announcing their man of the match. Tommy Minns. Well, that'll hopefully cheer him up.
Yeah. On
the sick bed. Parata. Rovers hunting 50. Right at the end of the game. Jones. Holmes to kick for the corner. Can Hall get there? He can! Or has he dropped it? I think he's dropped it. He has. Well, that was it. The ball was there. Wonderfully worked.
Well, not also known as a bar of soap. His hands are a bit slippery there, so he'll no doubt take some stick off of his teammates for that. He took a lot of stick last week for the flapper of a drop goal that he went for.
Oh, that's the worst drop goal I've ever seen in my life.
It was like one of my golf swings.
It was so bad, it was barely recognisable as a drop goal. There's the hooter. Bradford will be desperate to get out of Featherstone. It's been an awful afternoon at Post Office Road for the Bulls, because Featherstone have been flying. Rovers have run riot. 8 tries to 0, 44 points to 0. They take home the Peter Fox Memorial Trophy. And 8 wins out of 8 Bet Championships is their best start to a league season in 11 years.
It certainly is. You know, records today have certainly been gone. Personal records, Craig Hall. You know, he's kicked a few goals, he's scored a few points. So not a bad thing from him. The performance of John Davis, both in, you know, one thing that stuck in my mind was in the second half, George, when he shot out the line and absolutely collared Pickersgill, you know, when the Bulls looked in a very, very strong position to try and score. And I think that just took a little bit of the sting out of the tail of the Bulls. But all in all, Featherstone's defence today has been good.
And that's what we're seeing in the highlights we're watching now of the second half, punctuated by brilliant defensive effort from Featherstone, and then, well, that was I was going to say finishes in the corner. That was the one he knew he didn't get down and tried to con the ref. But there were threats all over the park, Pete.
Definitely, and it just showed. I mean, when you know, we spoke about injuries, and we've seen a fair few injuries today, but looking at it, I think before this game, Featherstone had 9 what you can call senior players injured, George. So, and you look at it and you think, well, a few of those have got to be coming back, because it's going to be a tougher test as this season goes on. And yourself, the more you remain unbeaten in the league, the more that the opponents come and they want to raise the game, they want to take it to you, and they really want to ask questions here. So, it's going to be, it's not going to get any easier for Featherstone. I know they've got Wembley on the way, but straight from the off, the primary goal has always been to get to Super League, and that is what they'll work tirelessly hard for. And it'll be interesting to see what the mood's like in the camp. They'll obviously be happy, but again, it's taken a great effort, Herculean effort, defensive-wise, from Featherstone, but a very, very dejected Bradford Bulls leave the field, George.
And lovely scenes as you watch the final tries of the game. Lovely scenes just beneath our gantry of the awards of the Peter Fox Memorial Trophy, and Featherstone have just huddled together for a team photo with that piece of silverware, and they're going to walk around and applaud the fans who have made the pilgrimage back to Post Office Road, and it's really added to the sense of occasion to have fans back as well.
I think it has, George. It's been good for these lads to play in front of fans, although not a full crowd, but we can all accept that. But it's great to see as well a few of the injured players out there, Chisholm, Ferguson there, Buses there as well, Brett Ferris.
Yeah, look at Brett Ferris.
Yeah.
Talking about grand final winners earlier.
Yeah, experience of plenty. And, the other thing that really, really gets me here is just how humble a man James Webster is, George. He'll let his team enjoy this moment, but that as soon as this moment's done, and he'll be back to work, and he'll not let them forget that, that we're not the finished article, we've still got a lot to do, but he'll be happy.
Great sharing the microphone with you, Pete, this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed it.
George, it's been an honour. I did speak to you before and told you, how privileged I felt, mate. And really loved it. Thanks for having me. And it's been great, mate, to work alongside you.
No, I've really enjoyed sharing the commentary gantry with a man of such knowledge of these two clubs and such passion for the game as well. That's what we got to look forward to across the Betfred Championship next week. So make sure, if you haven't already, make sure to tell your mates to get the Our League app. We'll be streaming and bringing you content throughout the rest of 2021. Today, though, it's been all about Featherstone. 7 days ago, they booked their place at Wembley for the final of the AB Sundex 1895 Cup. I wondered whether they might be a bit jaded and a bit flat after that. Not a chance. They were brilliant today. They've absolutely battered Bradford. Full-time, Featherstone 44, Bradford Bulls 0. From Pete Dutton and myself, George Riley. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.